Hello, my dear. Apologies. Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's happened once before tonight, plus the other week. Yeah.
What is it?
It's not normal for Zoom.
What is going on with me in Copaiba? I'll just I will just send a quick message to the girls if I can open it up. I'll just see if I can message. Are you okay if we just go a little bit over, Barbara?
Oh yeah, I'm fine, Tess.
Thank you, darling. Who else has just said? Catherine.
She was going to reconnect because I told her that I was going to leave the meeting and try again. Oh,
Yes, yeah, so Catherine's back. And what I'll do is I will just message Simone. Apologies, Catherine. Simone. Was Simone still there when you mentioned that, Barbara?
No, she wasn't. She seemed to drop out at the same time that you did.
Ah, poor girl. There's Simone down here. Catherine, are you okay if we go for a few extra minutes?
Yes, I have time.
Thanks, Catherine, darling. Well, I will. Right. Let's see if everything else is working. I'll see if Simone comes jumping back on again. There we were. Coolly. Right. So we're up to CB1, CB2, and we were just talking about how CB1 receptors. I'll just make sure I'm still recording. Oh, somebody's jumped in. There's Simone. I'll just send my apologies to Simone. Apologies, Simone. My bad. We are doing Copaiba, and we are doing it, and we're not going to stop until I get Copaiba done. Especially from Tuesday night. So CB1 receptors found in the brain, nervous system, linked with the pleasure and reward pathways, hence the addictive capacity that not just alone with marijuana when you're smoking it, but also quite a few other drugs and other stimulants can work on the CB1 receptor. The CB2 receptor is found in the rest of the body, and this is where the Copaiba works. Copaiba does work on CB1, but its main component part is working on CB2. And that is the reason why Copaiba is a great adjunct. If you are using CBD oil, it's not a problem, please do so. But if you wanted to have something as an adjunct and you wanted to have more of that CB2, this is where the power of Copaiba works, because it's muscle, skin, and vital organs. And then most particularly in the activation of that regulation of the inflammation. So the chemicals of inflammation are called cytokines. That's a nice big word. And when you use Copaiba, there is a secret power. So here's an image of a guy tapping a Copaiba tree. So that's exactly what it looks like in the rainforests of Central America. They tap the tree along a vein. And as you can see, they're usually people that know what they're doing. But Copaiba, this is where the reference from Dr. Hill and Emily Wright around it's as good as frankincense. You all know how frankincense is a crazy adaptogenic oil that actually enhances all the other oils. But did you know that Copaiba does it as well? Most people didn't know that. I didn't know that. So here's a little bit of information about Copaiba. If you wanted some dot point forms, you can take a photo of this. This is how Copaiba works. So it works on the liver as an antioxidant. It works on the neurology via the cannabinoid system and receptor 2, which is CB2. CB2 is this regulator for brain and dopamine. So it supports learning, memory, mood, especially anything to do with addiction. So this is any type of addiction. You've got a nicotine addiction, I don't know, food addiction, any type of addiction. You can be using Copaiba very interestingly, because Copaiba, and I'll get to the emotional stuff towards the end, which we're not far off actually, that helps us unveil and starts to show us things that can be quite tough. So be aware when you're using your Copaiba. Sometimes you'll need to be supported mentally and emotionally sometimes, because Copaiba is one of those cleaning out oils. It supports healing and restoration from illness and acts as a fabulous mood support system, a mood support oil, and especially helpful with stress from the cardiovascular system. So that's your heart. Now, turmeric. I want to talk quickly about turmeric, because when you add Copaiba and turmeric, so this can be the oil or it can be the capsules, whichever your choice is, depending on which market you're in. If you're in Australia, the turmeric capsules are not available. You have to buy them from the US shopping cart for us Aussies. Catherine, you're in Europe, so I'm not quite sure how turmeric is available. If you could just buy it directly from your main Europe market, or you have to get it in from the US. I'm not sure if it's available yet in Europe, but it is available in the US. You can use your points. Now, when you add Copaiba and turmeric together, that duo is incredibly powerful. Just look at what turmeric does for the body. So this is not the curcumin powder. This is turmeric essential oil. This is what they're talking about, turmeric essential oil. And I have added in a little bit on that emotional side, and why these two are just such a powerhouse together. So have a think about Copaiba and turmeric. And this is one of Dr. Hill's. This is taken straight off the Together doTERRA convention from last year. So this is how you would use your Copaiba and your turmeric, and you can use it. You can use the oil or you can use the capsules. So has everybody seen a Copaiba capsule? Have you guys got this one at home? I'll show you what it looks like once I open it. It's not very big. It's a soft gel, so it makes it really super. These are all stuck. Really easy to take. There they are. Hold it up to my little camera. It's really, really tiny. Really, really tiny. So 4 drops of Copaiba per capsule. At the moment, I'm taking, so I'm having a flare with my psoriasis. I'm taking 2 of these morning and night. Now, I can handle that sort of quantity. People might be like gasping, oh, how much are you taking? But I can handle that. I've been using oils for a long time. If you're unsure, just take 1, and you can take your Copaiba at nighttime. Dr. Hill recommends, and you can take the turmeric in the morning. But I'm taking Copaiba at the moment, morning and night. So here are your bonus recipes, how you can use your Copaiba in conjunction with other essential oils that you have already in your kit. So here are some recipes. You can take photos of these, but you will get the recording as well, the second recording. You'll get 2 recordings. My apologies. So Copaiba for pain relief. Remember what we spoke about with the beta-caryophyllene and the endocannabinoid system. So when you're tying in Copaiba and ice blue, frankincense, and then some added black pepper, give that a go. I know there are a lot of other recipes for pain relief that are using other types of oils. You can mix and match them. I just wanted to keep this one fairly sort of simple. Most people have ice blue and frankincense. and it's only the addition of, say, black pepper. And this one here works really well on the muscles. Also, it's great for head and neck tension. I've given you a recipe also for wanting that deep sleep, but your mind is wired and you just can't stop the thoughts. Who has those nights? I have those nights. So I use this one here. Few people are like, yay. So deep sleep, that's what we want, right? We want deep, restorative, don't want to dream, I just want to have deep sleep. So that's your copaiba, turmeric, frankincense, and then bergamot is a really lovely oil to use at nighttime. I know citruses sometimes can be like more like sunshine and daytime. Well, not so much sunshine with bergamot, definitely. Do not put bergamot straight on your skin and go in the sun. But it's actually really, really beautiful to have this at nighttime. If you're feeling run down, I just stake my whole health on this one tea. This one tea with my oils is what's saved me from going on some pretty horrible medications in my life because of my autoimmune condition. And this is an Ayurvedic recipe, and it's just saved me. So whenever I'm feeling run down, I will use this recipe, and you can buy these spices. They're easily available from any supermarket. You can get fancy and buy organic ones. So very slowly I purchased the organic version of these of these powders, and drops of lemon. So one lemon drop. You can use fresh lemon, but I put a drop of lemon, and it depends how I'm feeling. I either do 2 on guard or 2 copaiba, and it's very pungent. It's just hot water, honey, the powders, and the oils, and then enjoy. And this and I sometimes will take it maybe just once a week as a preventative. Can be a little bit hard to drink when you get to the bottom with because the spices don't necessarily dissolve. And did you know that copaiba is a beauty oil? Who knew that? I'm a bit surprised myself. So I found 2 recipes, which I'm going to try. Because I do not use copaiba as a beauty oil. And I'm not sure why I don't, because I don't know if I just didn't know enough of it. So here it is. There you are. I don't know. Do I look beautiful? Maybe I do. Is it that fast? Maybe it smells good. Okay, just pop it on your skin. So here is some rollerballs, and always with the rollerball recipes, I'm using fractionated coconut oil as to top them off. If you wanted to put them in a 5 ml rollerball, then you would half the dose. If you wanted to put them in a 50 ml spray bottle with some coconut oil and some water and spray, you can then have a larger bottle. If you felt like you wanted a spray bottle versus a rollerball, then you could pop that recipe. You could actually double the recipe for a 50 ml rollerball, 50 ml spray bottle. So try those 2. Now the jasmine, as you know from doTERRA, this is not the neat jasmine in the 5 ml bottle for those lucky ducks that have one. It's the roller bottle. So you need to pop the lid, the rollerball off your jasmine, and then use a pipette, and it'll be 5 drops into that particular recipe. That's not good, actually. Here's a recipe for during the day. So daily stress away, copaiba adaptive. Now I must put in a word for adaptive. Who has adaptive? I don't know. If you don't have adaptive, you need to get adaptive. So you can use the oil, which is beautiful. I actually have it diffusing in the kitchen right now. But I must say that adaptive and copaiba as a please come and save me pill, these are amazing together. And I always keep these in the fridge. The best place to keep your soft gels are in the fridge, including your Lifelong Vitality X Omega. Leave it in the fridge because oils preserve better in the fridge. Actually, we should probably keep all of our essential oils in the fridge. Definitely keep your citrus oils in the fridge, especially when it gets hot. For those of you in Australia, just always keep your citruses in the fridge. But these ones live in my fridge, and I take them at night before I go to bed. About 30 minutes before I go to bed, I do 2 and 2. Back to the recipes. Stress away, extra wild orange. The wild orange is fabulous during the day to help you stay focused, stay present, but also relieve stress. And then I've created a stay present blend, which again, you can pop into your handbag, Copaiba, lemon, chamomile, and spearmint. So a lot of the time when we're not present, this is just my view, you know, we might find that we can't say what we want to say because we're overwhelmed and we're busy. So spearmint's a great oil to help us with that capacity. It smells amazing. Just speak chamomile for calming and lemon for focus, and obviously the Copaiba. And a little bit of another shout out to number 3, which is Serenity Complex. So if there's some really tough stuff going down and you are getting overworked and you're tired and you're exhausted and you don't know whether you're coming or going, you can take a combination. You can do Copaiba or Adaptive, or you can do Copaiba and Serenity soft gels. They're all the same shape. All the soft gels are pretty much of a muchness, apart from the Adaptive, because they do have other ingredients, which we talk about at I do have an Adaptive class, which probably is due to do again. It's been a while. So they're great to keep. And I must say, especially this year, don't know how you guys are feeling, but this year I have been relying on those. So here's our emotional information about Copaiba. It is called the Oil of Unveiling. I am referring to this book. So if you have this book here, you'll have Copaiba. So I've just done a little sort of synopsis of for me, the most pertinent parts of the emotional aspects of Copaiba, because it does help you connect with things that have been long buried in the body. And like yarrow pom for me was a little bit harsher, a little bit stronger. It generated a lot of memories. I actually was finding my mood was altering with yarrow pom. I haven't noticed that with the Copaiba, but it's taken me about six to 9 months to use the yarrow pom effectively as a skin product, and I'm not getting the mood issues that I was getting at the beginning, and that was quite common. And yet at the same time, Copaiba can be just as powerful, but there's a gentleness to Copaiba. There's an all-rounding effect when you're using Copaiba. Just remember those 4 different species of Copaiba. So Copaiba really helps you let go of that physical, the past, and it gets a little bit into the spiritual here, helping you sort of release and let go. And it's when you're ready. So yarrow pom was a little bit more like, you're ready now, move. And I was like, whoa, that's a little bit intense. Back off. The Copaiba was more gentle. It's saying when you're ready, you will emerge into this light of consciousness, your own consciousness. So vulnerability, guilt, shame. Desiree Mandagog, the famous author of the I Am Worthy books, and she's written several more, and her protocols in her 5-6 week series, which was one of those programs we did last year as well here online, was she used Copaiba as her oil to help release shame as she was doing her 6-week process. And it's exactly that. It's very interesting. We've spoken about it from cardiovascular, respiratory, immune system, digestive, all those systems, but it's a little bit bigger than that. So it's a fabulous oil when things are getting tough and you need that support, but it's very gentle, which is why I love using it in conjunction with other essential oils, as well as a standalone, because it helps you come back to the true self, which is a lifelong process. It's not something that's going to happen next month, but just allowing yourself to, dive in a little bit deeper in what's going on for yourself and your body and any pain or discomfort, because it does have a message for you on that emotional level. And it's not to be feared. It's more to be just, let's elevate our awareness. Let's move forward and begin to see that there's a lot more going on for us as there is in the world. And Copaiba is a beautiful supportive oil at the moment. If you're in Australia, we have a 200-point promo where you get the soft gels, the oil, and that beautiful yellow mandarin, which is fabulous. Sorry, Catherine. Don't know what your 200 PV promo is, but I'm sure it's fabulous. But this one's ours. Oh dear, here it is. So Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to apologize. I can't apologize enough for the disconnect that we had earlier. I'm going to mute you guys. I'll stop my share. Here we go. So if you've got any questions, please go for it. And just unmute yourself or put your hand up. Is that you, Catherine, Simone, Barbara? Or you can put something in the chat if you like. I can just unmute you guys. If you feel like it, off you go. Oh, and I have a small person. Couldn't resist. Say hello.
Hi.
This is Oscar.
Hi, Oscar.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Oscar.
Hello. They're all saying hello. Sorry, he can't hear you because I've got my headphones in, but he's waving back. Okay, we're nearly finished. We're going to let the ladies do their thing, okay?
Okay.
All right. Shoot away. Shoot your questions. Anything at all.
I have a question, Tess, because the other year when I was seeing a naturopath who uses doTERRA oils, but she told me not to take them internally. So now I'm wondering, with you talking about the soft gels tonight, I wondered whether that was a better way of taking them internally rather than the other.
Well, if an oil is safe to be taken internally, it's safe to be taken orally, and that is very much personal preference. You need to look at the model of doTERRA. So doTERRA is modeled on the French medicinal system of internalizing essential oils. So if you look at the French model of aromatherapy, which is French Swiss, they actually have clinical aromatherapists that are medically trained in France that prescribe essential oils. So now doTERRA is based on that system. So this is just a little bit of background. The Australian system is based on the British system, which is nil by mouth, which is so the Robert Tisserand's, the Ron Gupta, those people that we know will say not to take it. And I agree to a certain extent, especially if you're new to oils. Just don't do it, because it's a big load on your system and on your liver. And sometimes we need to be careful. Some people don't have liver enzymes. Their digestive system's a bit funny. So I always, on the side of caution, diffuse topically, and then just start off with some nice citruses in water and then progress from there. And certainly not for children under the age of like 5 or 6. You know, they don't need essential oils internally. Topically and aromatically is enough. So it's really up to you, Barbara, but these ones have been TGA approved as a UTI support remedy, which means topically. Internally, but you can use it topically as well.
Okay, Tess, thank you for that.
That's all right. And I would just say give it a go. Just give it a go. If you want some samples, you can grab some from me, but you might need to take a full bottle before you see the effects, just like anything, you know. I give people a couple of capsules and I never hear from them again. I'm like, what? That was a waste. Don't give it, just give them an oil. It's much better. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Does anyone else have anything they want to share? How about a win? Anyone had a Copaiba win story? No wins?
What I really like what you mentioned is the emotional part, because I normally take Copaiba when I'm in pain. If I have inflammations and stuff, then I use Copaiba, but never when I'm feeling good. So maybe just diffuse it or use it topically when I'm not in pain to get the emotional good. you often forget about that when you're feeling good.
You do. It's very normal. And then I actually go into, it's a great point you've raised. I actually, sometimes I'll actually resist the oils, not so much these days, but a few years ago, I would be like, nope, I'm fine. So, and then I'm like, why am I doing that? And I realized it was just a little thing that it's just part of me where I go into, I think I'm fine. And, you know, I am, but isn't it great when you decide, like anything, you decide, no, I'm going to do a week of Copaiba, you know, and I'm going to whatever way you wish to express that, you know, and then just tune in the next week and stop taking it and just see how you feel. Did something else change on another level emotionally? You know, was there more stability? Was there a little bit more openness? Did you feel you received a little bit more? It's a very interesting dynamic. Maybe one day I'll do more on the spiritual side of oils, like how I use them in the clinic, because that is just freaky. It's like Freakyville when I use them in the clinic for the spiritual aspects. And it's very surprising what comes up, but practice, yeah, just say, I'm just going to use it this week, low dose, but and see how you feel then after not using it. I mean, that's the great true experiment, isn't it? You do it for a period of time, you make notes or write in a journal, and then
and I'm actually on holiday this week, so I might actually try it because I don't have to go back to work till Wednesday. So I think I'm just going to try a Copaiba one a week and see how I feel. Because I know it helps with, like with my sister with EMS, and I have so many people who have rheumatic pain, or even when I had my slip disc in the neck, it helped me such a big deal, but I never use it for emotional sides. So it would be interesting to see how that works.
I would love to hear back from you. Just write something, send me a little message and just say, well, you know, I noticed A, B, and C. And, you know, earlier as I was doing my research and then I didn't have time to put it in, but Copaiba has been one of the oils that was used in doTERRA's Aroma Touch study for hand technique. And it brought, as I read that, guess what I remembered, Catherine? Giving your sister an Aroma Touch hand technique in Europe where we met. So for those of you that don't know Catherine, I met at the Dusseldorf Europe Convention. Was it last year? Gosh, I can't believe it was last year. And Catherine was there with her sister, and as she's just said, her sister has this condition. So we did a Aroma Touch hand technique. Well, I did one, and I was like, well, how do you feel? I was not expecting. And I think from memory, she noticed a change almost like right then and there after 5 minutes of us chatting and rubbing hands while I was rubbing her hands. And it was great. And I thank you for reminding me of that. So I'm so glad that you spoke, that you put your hand up and said, I want to share. Because that was an awesome moment.
It was actually one of her first oils, especially when I had my first Copaiba bottle. I heard about all the stories that it helps with inflammation and stuff, but I didn't really believe. You know, people say a lot, but you have to see it for yourself. And because she really suffers from MS, and it's a lot better now because she uses Copaiba on a daily basis. But at that time, she was in a really, really bad state and couldn't walk like 20 meters, and she always had to hold on to something. And she was totally depending on other people. And we put Copaiba onto her feet. And after like 2 or 3 minutes talking, she just got up to get something in the kitchen, and she didn't have to hold on to anything. She was walking straight to the kitchen, and it was just like, did you actually realize what you just did? And she's like, why, what did I did? And she didn't just realize, she was just feeling great. And within I don't know, 1 week or two, she was able to walk up to 1 kilometer by herself again. And it was a big game changer for her.
Absolutely. I've just got goosebumps all over my body hearing that story. You know, I had forgotten it was that profound for her. But as you're saying, it's like it's all coming back to me. What an incredible story. But it's true. And today, how's she doing today? Still.
She's fine. She's using it on a daily basis, and she can actually feel if she doesn't take it, it's going down again. You know, she needs it as a daily support, and she hasn't had any inflammation or like a, what's it called, like a push,
like a relapse back in. Yeah.
She hasn't had one since she has been taking Copaiba. So
far out. That is, I mean, like I'm like, yes. And by the way, does she use this, or does she use the oil?
We don't have the soft gels in Europe yet. She uses the oils and she puts it into a capsule.
Good on her.
With Frank, and she loves it with frankincense.
Oh, you can say Frank. We know who you're talking about. That is brilliant. Thank you so much. And you know what? Like all medical conditions, this is just from my background, there is a lot going on at other levels, including emotional, mental and spiritual. It's all part of a journey that we're here to do, and it's part of her journey. But what a fabulous remedy. Like I could just keep talking to you about how wonderful it is. Like I won't stop. But that is fabulous. And thank you again for reminding me. I'm going to do a little bit more about Copaiba. I think that's an amazing success story. Like so amazing. Thank you. And yes, do the 1 week challenge for yourself and just see how you go.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Fabulous. Thank you, my dear. Simone, everyone else has had a little go at speaking.
Well, I took the opportunity when the connection dropped out to go and take a couple of the soft gels. So I was feeling quite inspired. I'd bought a bottle when they were first released, but after they'd run out, I hadn't got any more until my oils just arrived, I think, yesterday. So I've got back into starting to take the soft gels. But I do love the oil, and I find I use it a lot with massage. So I found I've used it more kind of on that physical level, usually to boost whatever else I'm sort of using at the time.
Yes.
So I don't think I've really used Copaiba on its own, but quite often when I'm putting a few things together, it's like, yep, need to add Copaiba in as well for that bit of an extra boost.
Wow.
But I found even though I do use the oils emotionally a lot, I hadn't really looked into the emotional side of Copaiba. So that was definitely resonating tonight. And it's like, yep, it's got to make sure I'm using it on a daily basis, whereas it hasn't been daily. Sort of, it's just been very ad hoc. So it's like, no, I can see now why I use it as much as I do in massage, but definitely going to be using it daily for myself as well.
That is so good. If there's anything that makes me feel really good is just these stories and these like aha moments where you're like, you know what? Actually, this is a pretty freaking fabulous product. Thank you, doTERRA. But when you look at the way it's so encompassing, and like all oils do this, but Copaiba does have a beautiful, like it's so needed. I mean, look at the timing of this oil being available to us non-trained aromatherapists, because that's what we are really. And you know, with doTERRA has it, we trust the company, and we just go ahead and we like, we'll just try it out. But isn't it that next level of owning it? Like when you say, oh, now I know why I'm using Copaiba, versus, oh yeah, you know, it was a great product. I saw the marketing spiel and I just chucked it in my shopping cart, used some points for it, and it works in here and here and here. But when I hear those stories where you've owned it, like I just feel all good inside. I just feel really good. Thank you, everyone. And my apologies again for going, for losing you guys and then jumping back on. So I will send out the recording so you've got all this information as I normally do. And I will say thank you, bless. And I'll see you at the next online, whatever it is I decide to do. Maybe it's an old one. I'll just repeat an old one that you may have missed. So jump on again and I will see you then. And thank you so much for Catherine, Barbara, Simone, and for everyone for tuning in, and Catherine for tuning in because she's on holidays in Germany.
Yay.
And it was brilliant. So next time I'm going to do German time zone, right? Don't worry about the Italians and the British. They're not joining. So I'll just put check for you, darling. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. And thanks for showing up and sharing. That has been such a brilliant, and I've had such a good time. Thanks, guys. Oh, can I just take a little photo of you guys? Is that all right? Like, I just want to, because I love doing these classes. I'll just get my phone. Sorry, I'll be 2 secs. Now, I know I can do this as a screenshot, but you know what? I'm not trusting anything tonight. I'm just going to use my phone. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to take a photo of everyone just smiling. Yay. Thank you. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, did I just get Catherine on her own? No, I did. Yes, I did. Anyway, it's all good. Thank you, guys, again, and I'll see you all next time. Good night. Good afternoon.
Good night.
Catherine.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.